What is good? Osiris here, stuck in the middle. Thank you as always for joining. Before I get into the topic, the nature of YouTube and the algorithm in general, it kind of caters to a niche. And I don't want to always be doom and gloom, but this channel is basically politics, and we'll laugh, but there is a lot of doom and gloom. There's other channels that I have. Visit our Discord. That's where I'll put links to everything. I'm not really trying to get subscribers on the other channels. I'm just trying to use them almost like folders. So if I have like entertainment stuff, I'll put it on a different channel. If I have critical theory stuff, I'll put it on a different channel. Just go to Discord. I'll put the link in the description and chat. We have great discussion. Thank you as always for your support. This is how I woke up this morning, because when I did a video yesterday on the Saudis going to China to facilitate a deal and potentially changing it from the petrodollar to the petro yuan, Chinese currency, at least impartial, at least in theory, they're at least threatening it or contemplating it. I didn't know India was as well. Let's take a look at this. We tried to cancel Russia. That should be a fact, right? Objectively, we tried to cancel, whether you agree or not, we are trying to cancel Russia. It's just cancel culture at the geopolitical level. Any countries watching this, and they're like, well, we could be next. They're watching it, not siding with Russia or Ukraine necessarily. They're just looking at it like, wow. So if we do something the U.S. doesn't like, they can just pull the rug out from under us? Like me watching Canada. They can just freeze your bank account because you went to a protest they didn't like, even when you were peaceful? Or maybe you donated to a cause? And they can freeze. This is Canada, but I'm looking at it like I'm sure they can do that anywhere else. They banned Trump from Twitter. There's like, damn, if you ban a former president who didn't break the law, then what chance do I have? So everyone's looking at it, India included. And obviously they don't trust America. And what hurts us, because all we have, most people, are American dollars in our bank account. They don't trust the dollar. The dollar is built on nothing but trust right now. And our guns, military. But when the dollar weakens, then the military will weaken as well. So India hates China. I'm going to talk about that more. And for them to even consider doing this is a indictment on our current geopolitical strategy, which is the worst in my lifetime by far. This is worse than Afghanistan. It's worse than any, as bad as those things were. This is worse than all of those, potentially. Solution in the past was maybe we could invade or overthrow people who are thinking about doing this kind of stuff. You can't overthrow the Saudis in India. So the story is, Global Times, India reportedly explores the yuan in oil chain trade with Russia as frustration grows over U.S. sanctions. Yeah, everyone. This is not just Russia. This is everybody in the world. Like, what are you doing? You're just jumping into something that's really none of your business. No benefit to you. You're hurting your own people to cancel Russia. America for damn sure won't care about India. This is a great clip to sum it up from China Uncensored. It's a great YouTube channel. Here's what they had to say about it. All doors lead to them.
Watching this, you're already way smarter than the New York Times. 2 weeks ago, we did this episode on how the Chinese Communist Party wants to turn Russia into North Korea. Take it away, Chris.
The Chinese Communist Party wants to be the world's go-between to help resolve the Russia issue. The same strategy China used with North Korea. You see, China is seen around the world as North Korea's only friend, which means if the rest of the world wants to get North Korea to do something, they have to go through China.
So China has gone to Jamaica, and they're building up infrastructure there. This is their Silk Road Initiative or whatever. They have different names for it. But basically, they're all over the world saying, we'll build up your 5G, we'll build up your infrastructure, we'll build roads. You'll just be in debt to us. So most countries are like, we don't have beef with China. China just really, they don't set up military bases all over the place. They don't get in the business in the way of our foreign affairs. Now everybody's watching U.S. get in the way of Russia and Ukraine. It looks like the U.S. care more than Europe does. What is the point of that? It just makes us look as like the big bad interventionists, and everybody in the world knows about the ties between our government and Ukraine. We're looking like damn idiots. Not even how bad our politicians like Nancy Pelosi looked crazy yesterday.
Myself, when I see those tanks, that 40 miles of tanks, I'd like to take out those tanks. I mean, I think that them having more planes might be useful, but that I'm not a military strategist. We hope that we will be able to get up to a place. I hope. You asked me how. I hope that we can get to a place where the MiGs, which are the kinds of planes they've been trained on, can go to Ukraine. The F-16s, especially if we have an excess of them, can backfill for Poland.
She'd like to take out some tanks. Let's elect some competent people, shall we?
Talking about this, and Biden and Kamala, those are our top three in charge. So don't even think about that. Just from the standpoint of our policy, people don't respect us because we're corrupt. Everybody knows it. India and China had skirmishes in 2020, still have beef, and India is still contemplating this. Chinese and Indian troops, they had a standoff. This is my opinion, the Chinese government is very powerful militarily. We know that, but they don't want to use it. That's not their goal. They look at fighting bullets like they're taking over our country by buying land and buying out the universities, buying out politicians, buying out Hollywood. They don't want to use bullets. That's unsophisticated to them and not as productive, not as efficient. They don't want to devastate lands. They want to take you over into the Eastern philosophy. So for them to have military show-offs here with India, it got heated. And India's still going to Russia, and then Russia's like, and China's like, well, I know we have beef, but look at the U.S. Come over here, we'll back it with our currency, and you'll diversify off the dollar. So what happened years ago, we went from the dollar being backed by gold to the dollar being backed by nothing to the dollar basically traded with oil. So it kind of, in effect, backed up the dollar. So now we can find an off-ramp. There's much smarter people, because who knew the off-ramp was going to be oil back then? Only smart people, people really informed. I don't know what the next off-ramp is going to be, but we need to find one. Because since we went to the petrodollar, our off-ramp, if another country wanted to diversify their currency, backing up oil with euros or anything else, we overthrew them or helped a civil war overthrow that leader. We can't do that with Saudis and India. And that's not going to work. So why are we still warmongering? Fox News is pathetic. And they're warmongering 24/7, with the exception of Tucker. Go turn on Fox News right now. I guarantee you they are warmongering as I do this video. It's disgusting. What is this about? It's about being anti-MAGA. A lot of people left Fox News after the election. Fox News called Arizona early. That was a trigger for a lot of people. I'm with you on that. But you see more and more why it's happening. Here's an article. The New York Times talking about the clear political shifts from Ukraine. The two parties more united than ever. No space on the left for demanding reduced military spending. It's not just the left saying that, but, and populist left. It should say populist left. No room on the populist right for non-interventionism. They're talking about MAGA. They're both the same thing. The populist left, reduced military spending and non-interventionism are very similarly aligned. What's happening is the centrist consensus of NATO militarism reigns supreme. They're not really centrists. They're anti-populists. They're establishmentist. They're the cabalists. They're the ones who benefit off this money laundering scheme-ist. They're the radicals, not you and I. So what's this all about? They said it right there. It's about denouncing Trump and MAGA. Because Trump, if you're America first, a lot of this stuff wouldn't be happening. Like every other major issue, this is an attempt to silence or mute the MAGA movement. A lot of people see that and they think, well, I'm MAGA if I say that. No, I don't associate myself with MAGA, but I have nothing against MAGA. When you look at it, tell me where I'm wrong. January 6th, all the lies around that, even though the act itself was just stupid, but all the lies of using the word insurrection and stuff like that, I don't know, there are barely any weapons brought there. What kind of insurrection is that? Lies, Russiagate, complete ridiculous lies. Black Lives Matter, an embarrassment to our country. Impeachment against Trump. They had lies literally in the impeachment hearings. Pandemic, lies against our people and phrasing it against MAGA. Georgia voting laws against MAGA, still trying to keep people off the ballot based on J6, who did nothing wrong, nothing illegal. All of that against MAGA. So I have reasons to say that. Lucky replied to me, said the most important thing here is that the maggots, we've got people calling other citizens maggots. You think that's just, now these are just the 10% who are fully engaged. Most people are just walking around like zombies. But we have the people who are engaged calling other citizens maggots and thinking it's funny. The important thing here is the maggots remind everyone that they are the real victims of everything ever. So he's talking about me. He's like, well, and I see what you're saying. I don't blame him because we didn't have a conversation. He doesn't know me. All he saw was my tweet, the one I showed you here. Like every other major issue, this is an attempt to silence the MAGA movement. So if you don't know, it's just a Twitter. I don't blame him for looking at me and saying, oh, you're the victim of all of this. You're MAGA. Well, number one, I'm not MAGA, and I'm not saying I'm a victim. There is a victim, though. There are a lot of victims. The real victims are all American citizens. Let me know what you think. Take care.